How to find my life's purpose. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how you can find your life's purpose. So obviously a lot of my videos are dating videos, and usually the kind of people that come to my channel are men and women who are trying to find a girlfriend, or they're trying to get an ex back. Basically they're really focused on their love life. Their love life is actually their most prominent thought. Usually when I have a client or when I'm trying to discuss something with someone over the internet, one of my main points that I try to put across is that your love life should be secondary. You know, your purpose should be the most important thing in your life, especially if you consider yourself to be masculine. Because let's face it, if we had a life that we loved and we was on purpose and we had lots of meaning in our life, and we were, we have these goals and dreams that we're trying to achieve every day, our love lives don't become as important. Now, obviously, you probably might be seeking a girlfriend, someone to spend the rest of your life with, or you're trying to get an ex back or something. That's fair enough, but it shouldn't be your most prominent part of your life. That should just be secondary, because your purpose ultimately is going to be the most important thing in your life, not your wife or girlfriend. You should be focusing on your mission, your quest, and what you're going to do in this world and how you're going to leave your own personal mark. So how do we find our purpose? I've got a few ways and I'm going to help you, but ultimately you might already have an idea of what it is, and you may be already doing it, but you might just not be doing it at the level that you should be. One of the ways that I personally found my purpose was something that I learned from Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins said, I think it was in his Get the Edge program, he said about think back on when you were younger and what you wanted to be and what you liked to do when you were a kid, and usually somewhere in there is your purpose, like hidden away. Now, you might not know what you wanted to be as a kid, so you might actually have to ask your parents or your siblings or some other loved ones that you know, like some friends maybe, about what you used to like to do and what you wanted to do when you grew up, because you might not remember these things. Some of the things that I wanted to be when I was a kid, that I wanted to be when I grew up, was I wanted to be a singer, so I wanted to perform in some way. I wanted to write, I wanted to be an author. I also wanted to be an archaeologist. Another thing that I remembered quite recently was actually I kind of wanted to be a scientist as well. I remember I would be in, I think I was in probably about year 3, so I was probably about 7 years old, 7 or 8. And I would take things out of my pencil case, like my eraser, some paper clips, some ends of pencils, and I would stick them together, because I don't know what I was trying to do. I was trying to create electricity or something, but I was just trying to add things together and make something. I was being very, I was trying to be like a scientist and invent something. Obviously I was just a 7-year-old, so I wasn't going to invent squat, but that's what I wanted to do. And I see now, as I'm older and what I'm doing now, I am doing those things, or actually pretty much all of those things, but in a different way. And that might be the same with you. So for example, for me, I wanted to be an archaeologist, so I wanted to discover things and then, show it to the world. And that's kind of what I do now. I, find the best self-help stuff, the best things on dating, the best things on relationships. I try and find them and then give it back to you in a more simpler way by video, instead of, you having to read the books or you having to, find the research and that kind of stuff. So that's what I do now. I'm like that archaeologist, finding things and then giving them out to the world. And I'm also a singer or a performer, because I am in a way performing on YouTube. I'm performing in these coaching videos to an audience, but obviously it's in a different way. It's not exactly a singer, but it is still performing in some kind of way. So also the other thing that I wanted to be was an author and a writer. That's something that I do literally do. I think then I probably wanted to write novels or be the next J.K. Rowling or something, but I've written a couple of ebooks, although they're not very long, and I do write articles for my website for people like you to go and read for free. So as you can see, a lot of those things that I wanted to be as a kid, I'm doing now. And again, it's I'm being a scientist in a way as well, because I'm, like I said, I'm discovering these things, trying to, like, I guess you could say, incorporate them all and be able to give it back to you, because a lot of what I teach isn't just dating, it's not just relationships, and it's not just personal development. I try and have all of those things in one, if I possibly can. So I'm trying to get all these different sources and then make something kind of new, to be able to give back to people. That's kind of my idea. That's my purpose. That's what I like to do. I find it really interesting. I love reading books. I love researching, and I love to be able to get it down to the most simplest form and to be able to give it to you in the best possible way I know how, in the most condensed and concise way as well. So what are the things that you like to be as a kid? Are there some memories that you had of being a kid that you really like to do? So perhaps you really like to build stuff and you remember like getting really excited about building something like with Lego. Perhaps you had like an ant farm. Perhaps you wanted to be a performer or a singer. And also, just because I'm not a singer, and that's something that I wanted to be, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you want to be a singer and you wanted to be a singer as a kid, you can still be a singer if that's what you want. You can still go for that and try to, you know, monetize that and make a living from it. You can try and do that if that's something you want. You don't have to be exactly what you wanted to be as a kid, but you can also be exactly what you wanted to be when you were a kid, as well. It all depends on you and what you want and the way that you want to live and your lifestyle. So my next point is to find what actually pulls you intuitively. So what are the things that you are naturally drawn to? So it could be, you might be naturally drawn to cars. Like, for example, my dad, he loves buses. You know, he worked on the buses, he has bus models, everything. He's always pretty much since the age of 17, he's been playing with buses. That's how I think he sees it. You know, he's just, throughout his whole life, he was just playing around with buses. So, you know, what are the things that you are naturally drawn to? Are you naturally drawn to cameras? Do you like photography? Do you like art? Do you like writing? Do you like books? Do you like nature? Do you like growing things? Do you like animals? What are the things that you personally are drawn to and have a natural interest in? And then try and find a way to monetize that or do it at a more bigger scale. So if you like writing, then try and, you know, get a blog out there and start trying to write as much as you possibly can and putting that out to the world. Perhaps you're naturally drawn to computers and you want to, you know, maybe start your own company about building PCs or something. You know, perhaps you like video games and you want to be an esports player and try to become the best in the world at whatever game it is that you're playing. You know, what are you naturally drawn to? And that makes you feel productive and good because, for example, I really love video games. I'm drawn to that and I like it. But when I play video games, afterwards I kind of wish that I hadn't played it. So make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you do it, and afterwards you are glad that you did it. You feel like you're doing something productive, and it's empowering you and it's making you feel more confident. Because if you're doing something just for the sake of doing it and because you like it and you're kind of dabbling in it, most of the time after you've done it, you kind of wished you'd done something else. So make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, it's something that you really love, and it also is something that makes you feel good about yourself. So throughout your day, I recommend that you just take notes. You can take a mental note or an actual written note of the things that you are naturally drawn to and the things that you find an interest in. So this will work especially if you're young. Experiment in different careers and perhaps other areas of study. So for example, let's say you're at university or college and your major is in philosophy. Read a few books on psychology as well, or, you know, read something completely different like crocheting or something. You know, just try and do different things and experiment with different things, different careers. So if you're young, you know, if you are at this moment in a warehouse job or you're doing a care job, and you feel like this is not for you, then try something else. Go into a completely different field and entry-level position, obviously, unless you already are a supervisor and you can move your supervision position to a different supervising position at a different kind of company. So just experiment with different things. You know, try different things. Whenever you and your friends, or you get invited out to do something different with your friends, so let's say there's like a place where you can go skiing nearby. There are kind of like those places, those like big warehouses where you can actually go skiing to, or ice hockey or ice skating or something. Try things that you've never done before, like go rollerblading if you've never been rollerblading, go skateboarding if you've never been skateboarding. Just try and get loads of different references so you can find what it is that you actually want to do, because you might be really lost and not know what to do at all. So you need to get some more and new experiences and new references. This obviously, again, like I said, it works better if you're younger. So, you know, when you can afford to like change careers and do different areas of study. So what happens when you know what your purpose is? So let's say you know what your purpose is, or because of this video, you've found out what your purpose is or what it could be. Well, your aim then is to just get a little bit better every day or every week. So if you feel like, well, I think my purpose is photography. I really love photography. I love different cameras. I love different lenses. I love looking at other people's photography. I like taking photos. Get better at it. Find a course, you know, or something, or watch some YouTube videos about it on how to get better angles and implement them, implement those ideas, you know. So start taking more photos, find some good software that you can use to edit photos better and straighten them out better, you know, experiment, you know, try and get a little bit better, try and learn more about it, and try and do that each and every day, or at least try and, you know, get a little bit better each week. So you could say, okay, well, this week, if you're a photographer, I took 50 photos. Next week I'm going to take 60 photos. You know, that's a little bit better than the week before. And basically you just want to keep on getting better and better. And obviously you don't want to be doing so much that you overwhelm yourself. So instead of perhaps doing more, you might want to do something better. So try and get better at what you're doing as opposed to doing more, because sometimes doing more can overwhelm you. But if you can do more, then do more. But if you feel like that's too much, then just try and do whatever it is that you are doing a little bit better. And you can use that for everything, right? So when it comes to me and my videos, I try and make a few more videos each week. I try and make the videos better. I try and cut out more. I try and notice what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, how to be more coherent in my videos, just trying to get a little bit better each week. And that's the same with like my knowledge, because obviously if I'm coaching people, then I need to know certain techniques, certain things that I know work, and I also need to implement them not just in my own life, but I need to be continuing to improve myself. So I need to read more and learn more about those things and fine-tune my approach, because that's what essentially you do when you're improving yourself and you're trying to improve on your purpose. You just need to be fine-tuning your approach so you get a little bit better. So for me, I do this by taking a course by another dating coach. I do this by rereading a book on dating or relationships or personal development, even if I've read it before, or I read a new book that I've never heard of before. It's all about improving. And basically when you do this and you start working on your purpose and that becomes your primary focus, you become more ambitious, you become more confident, and basically when you interact with girls, you know, you come across as more confident, and one of the things that girls really like is confidence. So you are more confident when you're working on your purpose and you have other things going on in your life, as opposed to these obsessive like thoughts that you have about your ex or the girl that rejected you or the girl that you like. And basically when you meet girls as well, you will be more attractive to them because you will be different than most people on the planet, because most people on the planet are not pursuing a purpose. They're not even trying. They're just sort of going with the flow, shall we say. They're not trying to strive for anything more. But if you are, then you'll be different and you'll knock out the competition. And you'll be more relaxed, you'll be more happy. And you won't be focusing so much on your social media, you know, what your ex is up to or what the girl you like is up to. You won't be worried about that stuff as much. You know, that doesn't mean that you won't ever have thoughts about them again, or you won't ever, you know, you come across their social media page by accident again. You know, those things may still happen, but at least you won't be focusing on it all the time, which is one of the main reasons why you should be focusing on your purpose. You know, it just stops you from doing things that aren't good for you, like obsessive behavior, like thinking back on your ex and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you. If you would like help with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop so you can get some coaching. Alternatively, you can just send me a quick email in the email address provided in this video's description box. If you would like me to discuss something in a future video, then please leave a comment and state what your problem is or what you would like me to talk about, and I shall do that. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.